Come on. There we go. I do not know why my source changed. Thanks for letting me know, Whitechapel. Yeah, you're going to watch the Streamlabs stream where it just is the audio bars dancing around to Robert's music. There we go. I'm going to have to write a... Hold on, what time is it in this stream? 7 minutes in? Alright. That one I'm going to actually cut because 7 minutes of you guys staring at that while I talk isn't going to help. Alright, so now that that technical issue is fixed, and I do not know why, I normally, literally, I'll look over, make sure that it's there, and one of the only times I didn't check is the one time OBS decides to freak out on me. So, to start... To start that over for everybody who's just picking up on this or watching the VOD, today I'm just kind of working with cleaning up this fortress right here, and I might do this tower too. I have worked on the interiors of this tower and created a pathway through to these other towers. I'm not quite sure I like these windows yet. I might make them smaller or maybe put the little kind of wedge triangle at the top. But starting to be able to actually traverse the city, which is nice. I wanted to have more done for my stream today, but unfortunately, oops, I need to duplicate stairs. I thought, hold on. Did I combine these? I did, but apparently I did not combine it with the stairs. So let's do that real quick now that I've noticed that. Okay, stairs, stairs, that, merge, and duplicate. Hey, Zukin. And hey, Radigar. It's going pretty good. And thank you for the welcome back. I did get a weekend stream in, if anybody caught that. But I'm definitely glad to be over that cold/flu or whatever the heck it was that I came down with last week. But yeah, so I've got these. The tops of them might need more parapet, like turret things. But again, slowly starting to work my way down towards the garrison. But I do want to finish up this area before I really dive into the garrison area. But yeah, so able to kind of start moving around. It's starting to feel like a city wall. As you can see, it's a lot of, you know, repetitive mirrored shapes and stuff like that, but so yeah, so today gonna work on that. I know the only thing that I've really thought about is this area is gonna have an entrance right here, and I want it to have a little balcony that kind of connects this part of it to this part of it, so there'd be like a doorway here and a doorway here. That's literally all I've kind of played with idea-wise. So essentially this can open up. I think I want this to kind of look down onto that area. And then this area, which is hard to tell when you're floating around inside the backside of normals. I'm thinking this area is going to be actually like a building. And then this area is going to be more of like a balcony down. And then maybe there'll be some sort of like way to get up on top up here. But that is it, and it looks like I bumped that off of a right angle, so let's fix that real quick. I've got to watch the VOD, and what's up, Zukin? How are you guys all doing tonight? So with that in mind, let's grab these. I don't think that screws it up. Okay, good. That doesn't screw that up, but that did screw up this. Alright. So, let's do it this way. Let's bring that down. And we will... Move these over. I'm gonna have to do a little bit of cleanup. And so one of the things that's annoying with Pro Builder is you have to kind of do this all unorthodoxly. I can't say words. Unorthodox. Because it doesn't let you like delete edge loops. So I have to kind of like make the quad, delete the quad, and then bridge the quad. Or just like merge everything down. So this is one of those spots where it's a little slower than it would be if I was making this in Maya. Doing well. Awesome. Excuse me, Zeitgeist. Glad to hear. Yeah, there's not much new going on since the last time you guys, since I did that bonus stream over the weekend. Again, I have kind of built these wall sections out a little bit more and kind of created the flow a little bit better. I was hoping to have this done today, but it did not happen, and it was my own fault. That made a edge loop all the way across, which is good, but it also... Whoa! Huh. Alright. Something's funky with my geo, because that should not have cut across that. Why did that cut across that? That's a triangle? Oh, no. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that was a big triangle, and it cut straight across it. Which usually means I had uncollapsed vertices as part of that triangle? Weird. Good time with me. Yeah. Robert's music's awesome. I'm excited to see more of it. Or, I guess not see more of it. Listen to more of it as we get further in the project. Weird. I don't know why it cut across that, because these are all fine. That makes me nervous that there's something messed up, but it should be right here. So I don't know if Pro Builder just did me a solid right there, which it usually doesn't do, but I'll run with it for now and fix whatever happens later. Okay, so 4. And we are using 4 meters as kind of like the generic like hallway width. For like an average hallway. If we want something a little tighter, we can go to 3, but 4 is probably kind of where I think it's going to work the best. Okay, so if we're popping over to here, and this is all at least going to go to 4. We can go all the way up to here. Oops, I should have done it this way. Raise the roof. Oops. This back. Bring that forward. And let's select that. So I have a feeling I moved it. Yep, I moved it up 1 too high. We will unselect those. Move that up. I don't know if I'm going to keep it this high. Or maybe I will. Hold on. I do kind of want that looking down area. So essentially like that. You just gotta make sure it's on the same level. Of that door. Whoop! What is going on? Oh, helps if I loop the playlist. Oh, nice. That actually lined up. Alright. So let's do it this way. Edge loop. Like that. It's a little higher than a standard ceiling, but let's see how it looks. Okay, so leave that. That's the door height. Should be good. Here. Yeah, I do want that to be over here as well. Bridge that. Subdivide it so I have enough I have matching numbers now on either side of the face that I need to bridge. Oop, why didn't that bridge? There we go. Actually gonna pull these out a pinch. By pinch I mean a whole meter. Give me a little bit more space to play with doing pillars down there and not making it impassable. Oops. There we go. Okay. So I'm thinking this will end up having a exit out towards here. Probably one here and then one here. I think I want to do another kind of bridge area, although that's only 4. That's not going to give me a lot of space to do what I wanted to do there. Think about that. And where did these come from? Alright, something got funky with my geometry. Let me clean this up before it gets out of hand. I don't know what happened. Let's turn on just show selected. Okay, there we go. That's good. Yeah, I don't... What is this attached to? Oh, it's the outside. Never mind. Which means I have these touching, which I don't want. There we go. That looks better. But it also means this wall needs to move. Which actually might work in my favor better for what I want to attempt to do. I want to have a passage kind of into here, which is going to give me another kind of spot out. And then this could be like, I don't know, this could even look down onto it too, but I mean, I'm already doing that over there. But I'm kind of looking at this area and maybe even this area as kind of like armory spots. So like, you know, weapons along the walls type of a thing if they need to demand them. And then over here is going to be more like the barracks for this, or like the administrative buildings or whatever. Oh, man. Just reclamp some of these edges real quick. Since I changed the dimensions, kind of screwed up some of the lines I already set up. There we go. That's better. And that one. Okay, I think we're better now. And just for the sake of it, clean up this edge too. So this is one of the great parts about having the terrain set up this way. I mean, I guess I could do this with a terrain as well, but I can just like delete this out super easily. Hey Nick, how you doing? Just make sure it's nothing that's visible from the outside. Okay, so this slightly changes my plan, but I think I can save it anyways. Oops, looks like I knocked that off of the plane that it was supposed to be on. Seriously? Alright, that'll be fixed for now. I'm gonna be messing with that later anyways. Alright. This needs to be at the same level as that. Okay. So, slight alteration to my idea because now the wall doesn't align here. So I'm going to... adjust a bit. Oops. There we go. Okay. I guess we'll do it up there. And then, whoop, that should not be selecting right there. I must have had something else selected. There we go. Okay. So as opposed to this being the entrance, there's a little kind of space here, I guess, now. And then I will create the door. Oops. Right there. Anybody, excuse me, anybody up to anything fun tonight? Or just kind of relaxing after a day of work? Not too much, about to dig into some more M&M stuff. Awesome. Working on anything in particular currently? Or not currently, but like plan-wise. Do you have anything specific you're trying to tackle today? Just hanging out? Nice. Should I do this? Okay, we'll make this a little bit larger on the one side. That's fine. Not too worried about it. Alright, so that's the center. There we go. I was going to do bug fixes, bug regression, a little bit of ability work earlier. Now I'm thinking about going to take a look at some of the new zone stuff. Set up zone lines, maybe some base population. Nice. Yeah, I still have to run around in some of the newer places as well. Just so you know, I am not able to push changes in here yet. So I wouldn't mess with Night Harbor, or not, yeah, Night Harbor for a little bit. Because, yeah, that would cause someone to regress at some point. once we get the file size stuff fixed, I can push all these recent updates. Okay, there we go. And we will cut our hole here. If Pro Builder will let me select an edge. Jesus. Sometimes this software is so freaking touchy. And let's get this one. There, is that? No, that is not aligned. There we go. And there we go. Awesome. Oops. There we go. Finar22, welcome to the chat. Just watching you and talking in, just watching you and taking in some learning how world building works in Unity by seeing how you develop. Oh, awesome. Yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to let me know or ask away, and I will do my best to answer them. And again, welcome to the chat. And Nick says okay. Alright, so got that. And that. Oops, and I forgot to grab those when I did my extrusion, so let's fix that. Let's bridge these back together. And I did the same thing over here, it looks like. Oops. There we go. And hold on. Now we're better. That was definitely messed up before. Okay, so let's grab all those minus that one. And we'll push these back up. 1, 2, 3, 4 is right there. And then we will make a doorway over here. Helps if I'm in the right selection mode. Awesome. And then we'll move these over. I have an extra edge? I'm gonna have to go by at some point and collapse this edge, unless I want to use it as a a seam for a trim sheet or something. Because I think when I put the one doorway in, it gave me an extra edge in areas I didn't want it. Which can happen. Again, it's a lot easier when you're using like Maya or Max or just a 3D application, because you can just delete the edge loop and, you know, take like this edge to the corner, and it makes your life a lot easier. This area should actually... more like that. There we go. I think you got it that time. Yep. So I'm just testing the seams to make sure I don't have that they actually welded correctly that time. Okay. Did I check the new ogre yet? Did you push the updates? Because if you have, I have not run around on the ogre in a bit. I can do that right now, actually. Let's take a look. Let's go to an area we can actually see him. Oops. Oh, nice. Ah. It's looking pretty good. Got some strafes. Oh, it even sits. Did you get all the animations done in there? I think we'll have to add an animation for him, like, getting up, because he just kind of, like, levitates to a degree. Because I think you just reversed it, if I'm watching it correctly. But it's looking good. I really need to play around with Cascader, even though I don't really want to do animations. I just want to try it out, because it looks like it'll be handy. And he just fits his big butt through the doorway. Oh, it doesn't fit through this one. Oh, because I did not put that one up to the correct height. Is he smaller than the... Did you make him a little smaller, Zukin? Or are my doors different scale? Hold on a second. Let's test something out. Oh, he's taller. Weird. Hold on. I know the ogre could not get in here before. He could get in, he just couldn't get... Oh, no, he can't get through there. He's the same size. Okay, he can get in there. Maybe the clatter's the same. That's possible. Yeah, I was just surprised. I didn't think he was going to make it through this one door. And he definitely did. Whoa! Was that... I think someone's flying around in here. Oh, he's too big to get in there. That one was not intentional. I did not intentionally make that small. I must have mismeasured that one. Oh, there he is. It's like shadow stepping all over the place. Oh, you know, part of the problem, I bet, is no one else has this geometry that I'm running around in right now because I can't push it. Because we need to fix something with GitHub. It's you? You're probably getting, like, stuck inside geometry. See, we'll recreate goblins. Oh, I can't get far enough. I can't get the camera far enough away. Where did they go? He's trying to recreate that. I guess he needs to be over a little bit further too. Something like there. I need a gnome and a dark elf as well. And a mandrake to complete it. That is a gigantic sword. It's like a lance. Ugh! Why, Zukin? Ugh! Alright. Let's hop out. Hard to stream snipe when I don't have your geo. Yeah, it is a little hard, I would imagine. Hold on, what was that? This? And this. Oh, whoops. Hold on. Hold on. I didn't run through this earlier, so I did not notice. Shoot. There isn't a separate. Oh, well, this is going to be fun. Okay. Alright, we'll attempt to do it this way. This is why you double check your meshes before you run through them. And flip normals. No! Shoot. Well, I guess the easier way is really... I don't know why I'm trying to make this harder on myself. It's just to do it this way. So this needs to go up to there. Sitting here making things harder on myself. Alright. So that should be traversable. And this needs to go down. Ah! Come on. Alright, let's test this again. Any of you planning on playing, are planning on dabbling in the new TLPs? Yeah, Nick, I'm gonna fire up at least one of my accounts for a bit. Depending on how many other people play, I might box. I can't remember if there was any, like... I don't remember reading any rule against boxing on the server, so I may box. I don't know. But I'm definitely planning on trying out that level locked one. I think that sounds, Vaniki, is the one I think, the level locked one. I've already done, you know, the classic. I didn't play on Mangler, but I've already kind of done that version. I think it'd be kind of fun to play the level locked version. Especially when I was reading and saw that it's like a challenge mode. Oh my god, fighting hiccups from dinner. Sorry. Whoops, I forgot to replace that. But yeah, I think that's kind of a cool idea. I wish it was free trade, like Thornblade was, but yeah, it definitely sounds fun. It'll be interesting. It's definitely... The other cool thing for me is it's close to what EverQuest was when I started, because I started in Lukeland. So it'll be the closest to what it was like when I started, because I think Planes of Power came out like 2 months after I started, 2 or 3 months after I started playing. Although I didn't realize it came out for a little bit, because there was still just so much to do. I think I was in like my mid-30s and someone's like, you should get Planes of Power and use Plane of Knowledge to get around. I was like, okay. And then I ran out and bought the version that came with a little standee of Verona V. Which I still need to fix. She had a packing issue during one of my moves, and her staff is missing its crystal. But are you planning on checking it out, Nick? And Whitechapel says, trying to decide if I'd rather be part of the SK Harmtouch army or the Magician Pet army. Both of those is what killed me wanting to play when the initial one, like Ragefire, when the initial ones came out. The Mage armies and the SK armies. Granted, I've ran a 30 box on an emulated server before, but oh my god, it was so annoying. Just having like someone run up on me with like 21 mages and just nuke the crap out of the thing I'd been camping for like 2 hours. Not sure on the commitment though. Yeah, I don't plan on being super committed to it. Yes, Zukin, 30 bucks. I had what? 2 warriors, Each group had a cleric, so 6 clerics, a ranger, a shaman, a druid, 2 rogues, 2 zerkers, 2 or 3 wizards, and I think 1 of every other class. Most I've done is 3, and it was a pain in the butt. Yeah, I was doing 3 on Thornblade. Me and my brother started playing with my son, but he... I think he lasted like 1 session, and then we couldn't like get him to want to play again. He kept saying he wanted to, he just never did. So I ended up boxing him his pally. So it was me boxing a pally, shaman, and ranger. And then Squishy Mustard was boxing what was he boxing? A druid? Or no, was it a wizard? It was an enchanter. Was it enchanter and druid? I don't remember. My memory is garbage these days. Yeah, I didn't use software for that boxing. I did use Killian's for the 30 box army. But I did try to get back into the Grand Creation. When COVID happened, but they had like retuned everything again. Like every time I take a break from that server and come back, like they try to make it more live-like, but the server population doesn't really support it. Everyone just boxes like 20 or 30 mans. And I was just basically getting punched in the face, and I'm like, oh, this is not fun. So I didn't last very long. Hold on a second, I've got an extra... yeah, I imagine you'd have 2 for that many. X becomes more impressive if you do it manually somehow. Oh yeah, no, totally. I enjoy manually boxing. Although I do a lot of macros when I manually box. But I will physically be pressing said macros. Where with Killian's, I had all sorts of automation stuff going on. Not that I didn't have like commands to, you know, influence what the bots were doing, but the script was doing most of the code, or most of the actual work. But it was fun being able to like run around and do playing a time by myself. Well, I could do the first 3 phases and Saren and Terrace by myself. I needed to get Squishy Mustard's warrior flagged for time to be able to do the rest, because I couldn't get past the Zach brothers with only 1 warrior. But I was able to get him Quivik geared, so I had like basically full Quivik gear on all of it, like pretty much the entire team. That's through there. I've been noodling around Turtle WoW and have a warrior shaman duo using Stream Deck to heal myself. I may consider, if I do box, I may consider setting up Stream Deck macros for the shaman, because I'll probably box the shaman ranger like I always do, because I just the two classes will go very well together in a duo setting. Actually, they go pretty well together on live, too, because my RL friend who plays, or played, would box a shaman. And he'd go pull something, dot it up, and then I would just, you know, turn it into a pin cushion. According to the EQ community manager, it will be Mangler style true box at launch. Viniki unlocks prophecy, or when Viniki unlocks Prophecy of Road, they will enable relaxed true box. Whenever that, or whatever that is. So so both of them, Whitechapel, are going to be true box? Because, I mean, I have another computer sitting right here that I can true box, or I can use my laptop. But sadly, that would mean no Stream Deck hotkeys. Joel Creates Games. Thank you for the follow. I appreciate it. And welcome to the stream. I did Cleric Enchanter for 2002, but ended up needing to add a warrior because Charm was unreliable. Yeah, I can see that. Charm can be overpowered, but there's so much risk involved with charming. And when you are boxing two characters, I feel like that risk gets amplified. Yeah, Yelenak will be relaxed true box at Omens. Cool. Omens was probably one of the last expansions that I really, really enjoyed. Dragons of Norath wasn't too bad either. I kind of burned out in Depths of Darkhowl, though. I think I played a little bit past there. I think I did a little bit of Prophecy of Roe, but that was... Dragons of Norath was kind of where I was starting to feel the burn of all the years of playing catching up with me. Shoot. Really didn't want to have to add that other edge there. TLP, relax your box. Big Z03, welcome to chat. TLP launches, box Chanter Cleric, make 100 chrono, then level up actual fun class, rinse and repeat. I am so bad when it comes to even the TLPs, like actually like farming stuff and getting chrono. My brother always ends up like turning in his station, or not his station cash, whatever, Daybreak coins, whatever they're called these days, and like getting one of those lucky pulls that gets him a like 7 to 10k or 7 to 10 chrono like mount, and he just like frequently does that. And every time I decide to pull one of those, I get some like crappy generic like cosmetic that I don't want. And then I'm like, why did I waste this and not get XP potions? Every time. If he was in chat, he would totally vouch for me on that story. Every damn time. What about Vaniki? What's the box rules for that? Vaniki's true box at launch until Prophecy of Row. I'm a maniac. I've played every TLP since Ragefire launched. Oh, nice. I did Ragefire and then Agnar. And then I played a little bit on Thornblade, which me and my brother are having a ton of fun on that. But we started a little late, and I got on this project like right after, so it ate into my playing time, and then we just fell way behind and then stopped playing. I think both of us want, if they do run another one of those random loot and free trade servers, we definitely want to try to catch another one of those if they ever do it again. It feels, I don't know, to me it feels like a not super commitment to play on that server. I mean, obviously you can still make a commitment, but everything being a loot pinata just seems pretty fun. Big Z03. Which, since you've played on all of them, which one was your favorite in terms of the TLPs? And if you played on Ragefire, not Ragefire. I did play on Ragefire though, but I didn't last past Kunark on Ragefire. If you were on Agnar, what guild were you in? I played the original Progression server back in the day, forgot the name. Then 3-box mages on Agnar. Then 1-boxed a mage on Eridune into the first group of 50s. I still haven't gone really hard on any of them yet. I went pretty hard. I was raiding on Ragefire, and then I just got sick of the mage SK armies chaosing me all the time, and then I quit. I got pretty serious with Agnar. The guild I was in, it was a casual raiding guild, but we beat Plains of Power. We were the second to beat Plains of Power. Mischief for sure. The random loot was amazing. Simply because it was entertaining to see how much stuff the devs got wrong. The loot spread was one of the biggest jokes ever I've witnessed in a video game. Yeah, I was watching. I was checking in on some people that were playing on Twitch, and it was amusing to watch some of the drops, for sure. But I mean, I can see where it's pretty easy to, when that's the first time you've done a server like that, with a game that's this large, or as large as EverQuest is, that there's going to be things you didn't necessarily think of. So I wasn't too shocked when I saw them having to, you know, like fix the cats in Plane of Valor were dropping stuff that like Tanar and AO War and those types would be dropping. Mischief was probably a cash cow. I grabbed a couple chronos to clean up stuff because, like I said, we started in late Kunark, I think, and there was like I could get. We were basically level 1 walking into Crushbone wearing full Plane of Hate and Fear gear, which was way more overpowered feeling than I expected it to be. It felt like we were buffed. Like, I knew the armor was good, but AC is such a powerful stat, low level, it's ridiculous. Well, they completely ignored the vets of the game and how to tier it. Yeah. Which would have resolved 80 to 90%. Yeah, that'll do it too, for sure. Okay, so I've got this. I know I want these to eventually have arches or pillars or something holding them up. Should be probably windows into here. Decisions. Well, I know I kind of do want something to be up here, but that's going to take away this whole area down here. So maybe this does just become a large ceiling. Oops. Are you self-taught in Unity or take classes for how it works? I went to school, but I did not learn Unity in school. I taught myself everything I know about Unity. I learned, well, back when I was in school, first game engine I learned was Torque, which not a great engine by any means, and then I learned Unreal, and I've been using Unreal now for 16 years, something like that. And I've used Unity on and off for probably 7-8 years, something like that. But it had been a good 5, maybe 6 years since I actually used it. Like a daily use. I would use it every so often for things. So when I got on the project, it was a little bit, there was a small period of just kind of shaking off rust and relearning stuff. How do I want to do this? Down 2. 2. Oh shoot. I'm gonna need another edge loop. But a lot of the tools for a lot of the game engines are very similar, so it's just kind of like learning where things are and you know, how to do something you kind of already know how to do with a different tool set, essentially. Are engines like Unreal and Unity similar in a lot of... Well, yeah, basically, they're very similar. I mean, they're different, but they're similar. Again, a lot of it ends up coming kind of down to... hold on a second, I need to fix my camera. It's so irritating when it does this. There we go. Unity has a tendency to, like, the camera starts to, like, drift and rotate, and it gets really irritating. But yeah, they're close enough that when you understand how one works, you understand enough, I think, to kind of more... how do I want to word this? It makes it easier to transition into a different engine. I guess is the easiest way to say it. So, you know, there's enough similarities that you aren't like... It's not like starting at square one again. Kind of like graphic design systems. They all can do the same stuff. Just got to figure out the terminology. Yeah, exactly. You know, just like a lot of, you know, graphic design software or like Photoshop and stuff. If you were to take a class with, you know, 10 different instructors, you would probably learn 10 different approaches to do the same thing. Or, you know, like 8 different approaches. There's so many different pipelines and so many different methods to get things done. Granted, some of them are more right than other ways. Not all the processes are necessarily correct or efficient or things like that. But when you kind of understand the generic what's going on, it makes it a lot easier to approach the other ones. Same with programming languages. Concepts are similar. They just have their own quirks. Yep, yes, very similar to that as well. Not that I am a master programmer by any means. I do know enough visual scripting to get myself into trouble. That's about it. Which is part of the reason I love, or not EverQuest. I love Unreal. Is the blueprinting is awesome. For prototyping, and like I can build some functionality of stuff pretty easily for myself, which is awesome. Okay, I do need that over there. Collapse some of these edge loops because they are getting a little crazy. Let's turn that off. Selecting through that. But yeah, I'm still definitely more familiar with Unreal. Like I can definitely just get more done myself. And I'm a huge fan of their, like, the new lighting with Unreal 5. I wish Unity had a similar lighting system, but I'm not holding my breath that they're going to come up with a similar solution super quickly. Almost collapse this edge. Sorry. Cleaning up Geo is probably not the most entertaining thing for you guys to watch, which is why I generally try not to do it on stream, but I did want to get that down because there was a lot of just random edge loops flying all over the place. Alright. So that's better. Alright. Got this. Let's get this cut through. And let's center it a little bit better. Pretty good. Okay. So this is the balcony. I want this to go in here. And then maybe a more grand entrance right here. I don't know how I feel about these being two different heights. I may play around with parts of this a little bit over time as well, but I do need an edge loop running down this. I'll leave that down there for now. Let me ask. Hopefully, or let me ask this. Hopefully I can ask this in a way that makes sense. In EQ, for example, if you are in first or third person, you can get close to a wall and see through it. Is it because they don't have the gap between the walls, like you've been adding, or because the limitations of the engine? It's more than likely the field of view of the camera. So hold on. Oops, that was not what I wanted to do. So frequently, once this finishes saving, if I go into our dungeon here, and for anybody who hasn't seen this, oops, this is a Lobby dungeon that I created a couple weeks ago. There we go. So you can see most of them, you don't generally have walls on the other side, especially if it's an interior zone, because you don't have lights, going around. What game engines do anyways with, let's say, like this barrel, if I go inside of it, you don't, every face, so if I take this D&D book here, every face, it's clipping out. So if I take this book, every face has a normal that's facing out. The side that does not have the normal, so if the normal's facing this way, this side de-renders. It just like occludes it from the renderer. So it makes it more efficient, essentially, when it just doesn't render the backside. You can force it to render the backside if you're doing something like drapery or like a chain link fence or something. that you want to be able to see both sides, you can force it to do that. But yeah, the reason you're seeing through that is generally the perspective of the camera, the field of view, the arc of it is extending beyond the wall while the collision is keeping the camera on that side. So you'd have to you'd have to like have the camera a little bit more dynamic. So like and have a collision that's a little bit bigger than it so that it would push off of the wall when it came close. It would be on like an arm. That works kind of like a camera dolly. it would kind of push it off and pull it and move it over the side. Or you could dynamically, if you start detecting something, play with the field of view, which would probably be a little more jarring, I think. And then things like gnomes is because where the camera is and their size, and their capsule collision is so much smaller. Just where it happens to be sitting, it can kind of like pop through walls a little bit easier. Same thing with like wolf form. Because I used to, as a ranger, I used to stick my head through walls all the time. But yeah, most dungeons and like interior zones are going to be built like this, just because it's easier to see, and it's just more efficient than modeling walls on both sides. Oh, so it's not the design at all. It's pretty much an FOV placement that causes it. Pretty much. I don't know if they. Be a question for Sean, and I don't know if Sean would know it 100% either, but he might know somebody who does. It might have just been like a bug type of a issue that they just decided that it wasn't worth addressing and just left it there. I honestly do not know. That's, kind of one of those just ballpark guesses of what could have made that decision. It could have just been like, okay, we understand that you can stick your head in the wall, but it's not too big of an issue, so we're not going to worry about it, type of a thing. That's pretty cool stuff. Are you talking about the field of view stuff, or the dungeon I was just in, or both? So I'm trying to just make sure I'm following what everybody's saying. Reading comprehension isn't always my strongest suit. Big three, that was a good question. To ask about the wall. Yeah, it was definitely a good question. Yeah, any questions you guys have, I can at least give you my best educated guess if I don't know something. Like I said, Sean might know that exact reason why that's there. I don't remember if it's ever been brought up on one of the interviews he's done. If it has, I don't remember. But that's entirely possible. My memory since COVID started has been definitely less than it once was, for sure. I used to have a really solid memory, and now I'm super spacey. Just seeing the dungeon? Oh yeah, actually, if you guys want, here, for some of you newer guys who haven't seen me run around in it. Again, this is a lobby dungeon. I think the idea is to support like level 1 to 5, like 2 to 5, 1 to 5, something like that. I don't know if the population has been updated. But why did that not work? Oh, forgot the word tune. added the short name for it, and you think I'd remember it, but I don't. Population is still the same. Aggro. Although I'm on a level 60 character right now, so it wouldn't really matter. I just don't want to get chased around by skeletons. But you're going to be looking at that shortly. Awesome. I'm still looking forward to when we can all eventually do a dungeon crawl through here. But, yeah, so without giving off too much of the lore, it's a low B dungeon that's right off of the zone I've been building. And it's kind of a tomb theme archaeological dig gone bad. So that's about all context I'm going to give. The rest of the lore you can discover while you play. But Nick has done kind of an initial first pass on this top area. So you can kind of see, you know, there's like a supply room essentially where they were starting their dig from. Yeah, this is music that Robert, our musician, did for it. Really like atmospheric. But when I was building this, I was looking a lot off of like Befallen and a little bit of Guck in the Hole, although not necessarily as much as I did with another dungeon area that isn't currently being used. But I think we're going to find a spot to use it later, or use parts of it later. So, kind of a bunch of sepulchers with some dead people on them. We got this kind of church area. And then walk over here. We can go down this way. Ossuary where there's gonna be right now it's just the same one kind of copy pasted, but there's gonna be all these different bone like patterns and stuff kind of put into all these little areas, probably like bones lining this like the columns here, maybe some skulls and stuff stuck into the braziers there. So that way will also lead to where I'm going over here. So this is another kind of section of it. And then this area links back to that other room that we were just in. And then you can go down deep into the deep tombs here. There's all sorts of like sarcophaguses that are open. And then down here. Kind of like the boss room. So we want to support dungeons basically from low levels all the way to high end. So have, you know, places for you to go, XP, you know, find cool loot, that type of thing. And this one was Ham did a write-up that obviously was in our Slack, so it wasn't publicly facing. And he has a background in DMing for Dungeons and Dragons and stuff. So he it was a really good quick read, and it was really descriptive, and it you know, it talked about all these different things like this pit trap here, and it was super easy for me to just like visualize. And I just needed a break after working on Night Harbor for like 4 weeks in a row. So one day I just was like, oh, I'm gonna take this right up and just build a dungeon. And I roughed it out in like, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours. And then I'd probably put another, you know, 10 hours here and there cleaning it up. It still needs, we want to kind of like break up the floor and make it look a little bit more like classic EverQuest style. And then maybe some more secrets hidden around. There are secrets, but I'm not going to show them off on stream. Some people have already seen them, but I'm not going to show them off right now. And then this like lights. The lighting's all quick, rough first pass. These are all super placeholder-y torches and stuff. The only things in here that are kind of reminiscent of what production might be are like the barrels and like the picks and the shovels and stuff like that. So definitely needs to be a lot of work for it, but it is, you know, it is playable. We've done a couple test runs in it already. So it was definitely super fun to work on. Zone Night Harbor. Oh, Hell's Ridge also commented on the music. Big Z3. There are a lot of games that have the see-through wall thing. EQ is just the best example I could come up with. Yeah, there's definitely a handful of them out there that have that same issue. And adding a dynamic field of view makes sense. Curious if the engine itself has limitations on what you can do and can't do with field of view. Or is it something else that dictates that? For fields of view, I mean, I should be able to. Hold on. Trying to remember how to pop out of this if I don't have. Shoot. Hold on a second. There we go. If I grab my character, I should be able to screw with the yeah, so, I mean, I can dynamically just change it. Granted, this isn't going to change it for the entirety, but, you know. That's how a lot of, like, EverQuest especially did a lot of the, like, magnifying and stuff like that. It was just changing the field of view. So, like, the drunk effect and stuff like that. A lot of it just comes with field of view. So let's run over here. Is there anything else? Hey, Pace. Hey, Regis. How you doing? I am doing well today. Definitely feeling better. Still a little bit of cough, but doing pretty well. Been working more on this fort area, which I'm about to run into. Almost forgot I put a door there. Set 6 a.m. I could bring this down. I'm gonna have to play with that. What I could potentially do is make an area over here that I can walk in over there. Ooh, there is a weird... There's something going on with that normal. It's catching the light weird. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. Something's screwed up there. It's looking pretty good. And then this is gonna be the interior. Let's go down and check out the lower floor. So yeah, I definitely want to have like arches or pillars or something here. And then this will have some sort of entrance into that main area. then this will be like another little armory room that gets into these tunnels in the walls to get to the other parts of the wall if they needed to. Again, I when I'm designing places, I like to have a little bit of an idea of like functionally, if this was a real place, how would this how would this area work? Although I have this going to a dead end. That needs to link up with that other wall, I think. Let's move my character out of the way so I don't end up accidentally putting him inside Geo, which I've done several times before. Although, honestly, I don't think I've done it on stream. And if I have, it's only been like once. I just do other weird mess-ups on stream. Okay, so this wall... Oh, nice. I already have the edges for it. That's going to a corner. And that one, I want to stay there. Okay. Oh, good. Yeah, I could leave it as an area for quest NPC. Although there's gonna be lots of areas for quest NPC. This city is gigantic. There's gonna be plenty of places to hide them around. Whether it being intentionally trying to hide them or just because it's gigantic. Night Harbor itself is very, very large. The fact that we're working in kind of more of a classic style definitely makes it more doable. If I was trying to do this in a more modern style, which I'm definitely more used to texturing that way with like PBR textures and stuff like that. I don't think we'd be able to complete it with just one environment artist. Well, I guess I got not one environment artist because Sean's helping out too. But having one artist doing like the finishing pass and everything would become problematic pretty quickly, I think. But the style we're working in definitely makes that kind of stuff a lot easier to hit. Hold on, this is... Oh no, it is. I need to fix the UVs on some of this. Some of it's kind of funky looking. There we go. Sometimes you have to like re-click the world alignment for Pro Builder. And then I've noticed on a couple other things, like turning it on actually makes it work not as good with the grid. And then you just turn it back off and then all of a sudden it starts working with the world grid again. And you're like, what is going on? So Pro Builder has its own fun quirks for sure. I think I want another entrance to this building from this lower like camp area. Obviously we've got the one in here. The question is, do I want to make the entrance here? Or do I want to make it into this larger area? Maybe a larger door right here. And this is another edge I need to eventually collapse, but I'll just leave it like this for now. Alright, so the normal door is there. Let's make this a little bit more grand of an entrance. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Easy enough to fix. Alright, do I have edges running down this? I do not. Again, some of these edges are becoming a mess. I'm going to have to clean this up eventually, but again, it's one of those things I tend to, when I do it off stream just because my guess is it's probably a little less exciting watching me just snap vertices to themselves than it is to like actually kind of build out a space that everyone will be running around in one day. Beer Chug, welcome to the chat. How are the blue lines that are, or what are those blue lines that are you're digging around? So these, the anatomy of a 3D object. A 3D object consists of 3 parts. Give me 1 second and I'll show you. So let's look at this for instance. You've got your vertices, which are the little dots that are gray when they're not selected and yellow when they're selected. And then in between those are those blue edges that you're talking about, which are just called edges. And they're the edge between 2 points. And then for 3 dimensions, you need at least 3 vertices. So 3 points in space makes a 3D object. So triangle is the smallest one you can have, and the area that's in between those 3 vertices and the 3 edges that create those vertices is called a face, or a tri. In gaming, it's frequently called tries because everything gets triangulated by the game engine anyways. Pro Builder itself, right now these aren't triangulated, but they'll be triangulated in the end. The reason game engines tend to triangulate everything is it puts the geometry in its simplest form, because again, the simplest form of a 3-dimensional shape is 3 points, so it's just more efficient to run a triangulated mesh than it is to have quad mesh. Gur88, hi, welcome to the chat as well. Okay, edges of the shape. Yep, exactly. So you'll hear me frequently talk about edge flow, which right now this edge flow is kind of getting janky because I just threw a bunch of edges in here. And generally, you want to keep your edge flow fairly consistent and straight, because when you're dropping in edge loops, you don't want this to start happening all over the place. It makes it so you have to clean up more stuff. Again, I'm a little bit less worried about it when I'm doing streams. It's one of those things I kind of clean up off stream, just because, again, watching me sit here and play around with the edge loops is not necessarily the most interesting thing for you guys to probably watch. So I do tend to try to spare you guys that boredom. But yeah, if you have any other questions, Beer Chug or anybody else, feel free to ask. I will do my best to answer any questions. Besides working on this game, my day job is teaching. I've been teaching for almost 12 years, video game design specifically. Also, like digital foundations and Photoshop and stuff like that as well. But mainly game design for the last like 12 years. So happy to answer any questions people have to the best of my ability. Programming wise, I might not be able to answer as much, especially with Unity. I can program, but I use visual scripting in Unreal. It's called blueprinting to do programming. I'm just more of a visual person. Syntax and spelling is not does not go well with my dyslexic brain. I do not understand much about game development, but I think it's really cool. I just don't have the tools to do it. Or Gur, if you actually want to mess around, even like on a hobbyist level, the nice thing about it is there are so many free tools nowadays. You can download and open up Unity right now for free. Same with Unreal. I would suggest if you're more technically and programming engineering oriented, Unity's probably the better choice of an engine to learn. If you're more artistic and visually inclined, Unreal's probably better to learn. That's again personal opinion, but they just tend to be easier for those mindsets from my experience. But yeah, all this stuff is free, and there's tons and tons of tutorials on like YouTube. Granted, it's YouTube, so I mean I'm saying this and I'm putting this up on YouTube tomorrow, but the quality of YouTube videos are some of them are better than others. But yeah, there's tons of resources out there. Unity, like I said earlier in the stream, I'm basically self-taught when it comes to Unity. And I'm Unreal. I taught myself a ton of Unreal as well. Teaching actually forced me to learn more about Unreal than I probably would have learned naturally by myself. Because students have questions, and I feel like, oh, I need to help them answer this question, so I'll go and sit down and go through tutorials and teach and learn how to do it, and then teach them how to do it. So I ended up going a little bit more towards technical artist. Again, I don't really know C# or C++ or Python, so I wouldn't necessarily call myself a tech artist, but I can do a lot of stuff with blueprints in Unreal. But yeah, there's all sorts of ways to kind of play around with it if you're interested in that. You don't have to. I use Maya as a 3D program, but you can use Blender and be able to 3D model and texture and all sorts of stuff like that. That's really cool teaching online. I am teaching in person at one school and online at another school. Although I have taught in person at that school, I finally transitioned into the game design department just around COVID, and all the classes were online anyways. But for a while there, I was teaching both schools online. The one school I was teaching through Discord, essentially. Just because that's where all of our students already converged in Discord, and we had Discord servers set up, so it was an easier transition that way. I've been upgrading excuse me, I've been upgrading Partisan an old laptop, so hopefully I'll be able to render 3D images and other things. Yeah, that sounds awesome. Yeah, definitely, it's a fun thing even on a hobbyist level to just play around with. I had a bunch of, before I got on this project, I had a bunch of just, projects I've been working on kind of in the background, that I haven't touched in, my gosh, I've already been on this project for like 8 months now. Time is flying. But I haven't touched stuff since like late August. I like your magic words. I don't understand most of them, but I enjoy watching games that are made. Yeah, you'll definitely hear a lot of words that I'll throw around that I sometimes forget the average layman might not have heard. But if you are interested in learning some of this stuff, you'll start to hear those words a lot more often, like UVs and mesh and textures and things like that, rigs. But oh, it's already 10. All right, guys, let me finish up this area, and then I'm gonna call it for the night. I can hear my kids playing music in the background, so I want to, as they're going to bed, I want to cut this off before I get copyright strikes. But thank you guys for hanging out with me tonight. Let me save this before I forget. And then I'm going to do my closing links and stuff for everybody. So if anybody is new to the project and is not aware what we're doing, we are building... Oh, thanks for the follow, girl. Let me see. You just said something too. I wanted to... because of, as I have said, my laptop can't run anything above maybe a pair of 3D shoes. Yeah, I hear you. I've definitely done 3D with low spec computers before, and it is not fun. It is not fun at all. I understand basic things like textures and vertices stuff. Oh, awesome. Yeah, if you already understand some of that, you already got one foot in the door. Keep on learning. Again, anybody, if ever have any questions, feel free to shout out. Like I said, I do this for a living. Thanks for the stream. Night all. Night, guys. Or Zeitgeist, as I like choke on my tongue as I speak. No problem, Beer Chug. Thanks for hanging out with me. So again, if anybody's not familiar with the project, we're making Monsters and Memories. It is an indie MMO that is heavily influenced by the first generation MMOs. So back to the classic like 1999, early 2000s era. So EverQuest, Ultima Online, Dark Age of Camelot, Asheron's Call, you know, the OG MMOs. This is our website if you would like to learn more about the game and more about our team members and see some images and stuff that we're working on. A great place to check out that. We have a growing Discord. We're up to, I think, 830-ish, 825, 830-ish people last time I looked. So we're going pretty quick over the last couple weeks, which is awesome. We have all sorts of conversations that are going on in there all the time. I need to get caught up on a couple of them. But anyways, all the devs are in there. Feel free to ask questions. Like I said, we have all sorts of design conversations, whether it's about our game or MMOs in general or just gaming in general. So a cool place to hang out. If you'd like to stay up to date with the game but don't want to join the Discord, feel free to join our mailing list. We'll send out updates and occasionally do like surveys and stuff like that. And then these are the other team members that are currently streaming. So make sure to follow them as well. Everybody streams their own aspect of the game. Sean's been helping me out with some environment art and blocking out some of the other zones while I tackle the behemoth zone that is our city. So I'll fly over for everybody else who hasn't seen. So we've got all these different wards and districts. Some of them have been started to be built out. Some of them have been, you know, kind of little experiments done. Some of them are still super rough and like representational. Some of them are just placeholdery. Others are just completely barren. So we're slowly building stuff up. And I've decided to kind of tackle it from a front aspect going this way. Since we can kind of, Nick and Sean can start populating this area with some of the NPCs from the data sooner than if I'm starting to kind of spread myself thin by attacking each little area like I had been as experiments. But Sean's been doing some blocking out of other zones for me. And he also kind of shows off everybody else's work. Zukin does the critters, character art, has been doing animation a lot lately. Goblin does a lot of concept art. He also does some animation in the background. I don't know if he's done any in stream. Actually, I think he has done one stream with that. He does a little bit of modeling, does texture work, so he kind of does a little bit of everything. Nick, I'm not sure if he's still in here. We'll stream Q&A stuff and design stuff. And then Ali hasn't posted or hasn't streamed anything on Twitch, but he has posted a series about like a game jam series on our Monsters and Memories YouTube channel. So if you have not already, check out the YouTube channel. You can get caught up on all the past VODs from all of the team members. We all post them up there when we're done. And if you are watching this on YouTube, please remember to like and subscribe to the channel, or like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below on what you think about what we've been working on today here with this kind of fortress building with the interior. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with me. Appreciate it. And I will catch you guys on my next stream. For anybody who's new to the stream, I stream on Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesday afternoon at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then occasionally I'll have like a bonus stream during the weekends. But I'm going to let you guys go, and I will see you guys Wednesday. Later.